I slid the resignation letter across the mahogany desk. My smile was steady, but inside, my pulse was steel. "Congrats to Lily," I said softly, watching his eyes flicker between my face and the crisp envelope. The words were honey, but the silence that followed was poison. When his voice finally cracked the air, angry, disbelieving, it was exactly as I had imagined. "You can't be serious?" I was, deadly serious, and it had taken me 3 long years to get here. 3 years ago, I walked into this office with fire in my chest and stars in my eyes. Fresh from graduate school, armed with ambition, I believed in hard work. My husband, Mark, was the one who convinced me to join his family's company. "Dad sees your potential," he said. "We'll build our future together here." I wanted to believe him, and for a while I did. Late nights, early mornings, weekends swallowed whole. I turned down friends, skipped vacations, poured myself into every project. I wasn't just proving myself to the company, I was proving myself to the family. And then there was his father, the boss, the patriarch. He would clap me on the shoulder, tell me I was one of the sharpest minds he'd seen. He dangled the promise of promotion like a diamond just out of reach. "Be patient, your time is coming." I believed him. Foolish, blind belief. It wasn't the whispers that first caught me. It was the smiles. The way people in the office glanced at Lily, the niece who waltzed in with perfume and privilege. She had been there barely 2 months, yet suddenly she was attending meetings I wasn't invited to. I brushed it off. Nepotism runs deep in families, I told myself. But then came the project, the one I had led for nearly a year, pulling 14-hour days, fixing disasters no one else dared to touch. On presentation day, it was Lily standing at the front of the boardroom. My slides, my words, my work. And the boss beamed at her like she'd split the atom. That was the moment I knew. The promotion announcement 2 weeks later wasn't a surprise, it was confirmation. After 3 years of sacrifice, I was nothing more than a stepping stone. Disposable. I felt the rage rise, but I strangled it before it reached my face. Outwardly, I smiled. Inwardly, I sharpened my knives. Revenge doesn't come in flames. It comes in frost. Cold, patient, precise. I didn't storm out. I didn't scream. I stayed. Every day, I showed up, calm and composed. They mistook it for weakness. They didn't realize it was reconnaissance. I studied their systems. I cataloged every file, every client, every weakness hidden beneath polished wood and false smiles. I made myself indispensable in silence, holding the company's spine in my hands, unseen. Meanwhile, at home, I listened. Mark thought I was naive. He let things slip. Conversations with his father, business strategies, family feuds. I stored it all. By the time Lily got her shiny new title, I already had the keys to the kingdom. Step 1, my resignation letter. Written but not delivered. Not yet. Step 2, transfer of knowledge. Quietly, methodically, I built relationships outside the family circle. Clients, vendors, partners who trusted me more than they trusted the family name. I became their confidant, their go-to. Step 3, opportunities. While they gloated over their golden girl, I laid foundations elsewhere. A new firm, competitor, leaner, hungrier, had been eyeing me for months. When I finally reached out, their response was immediate. Name your terms. I named them. By the time I printed that resignation letter, I wasn't walking away empty-handed. I was walking into power. Which brings me back to that moment. The office smelled of coffee and ink, and the boss's hands trembled as he opened the envelope. My father-in-law, the man who built an empire, was suddenly just a cornered animal. "This is a joke," he snapped, veins rising in his neck. "No joke," I replied. My voice was low, controlled. "Effective immediately. His eyes darted, calculating. "You can't leave, you're too important." I let the silence answer. Then, slowly, deliberately, I leaned forward. I was important. Until Lily replaced me. The words landed like a blade. He flinched, just slightly, but enough. Mark walked in then, perfect timing, though he didn't know it. "What's going on?" His voice was tense, already sensing the shift. I turned to him with the same calm smile. "Just handing in my resignation. Your father gave my promotion to Lily. I'm sure she'll handle things just fine." Mark's face drained of color. He knew. He had known, but hearing it out loud, seeing the paper in his father's hands, it cracked something. I stood, collecting my bag. "Good luck with the business." And then I delivered the final twist. "By the way, most of your biggest clients won't be renewing contracts next quarter. They've already followed me to my new firm." The silence that followed was delicious. I walked out without looking back. The elevator doors closed on their stunned faces, and for the first time in 3 years, I felt air in my lungs. Later, I would hear the fallout, how deals collapsed, how Lily floundered under pressure, how the boss raged at the mess left behind. But that wasn't my concern anymore. I had given 3 years of loyalty. They had given me betrayal. Now, I had given them silence. And silence was the loudest revenge of all. I didn't cry, I didn't grieve. I simply stepped into my new office, the city stretching before me, and let a smile curve across my lips. They thought they had clipped my wings. They hadn't noticed I was already learning how to fly.